Hi everyone, Steve 3PO here, and today we're going to do some casting.
Roar.
No, not that kind of casting.
Hi, I'm Taylor.
Not that kind of casting either.
We're going to cast some bottle opener keychains in brass. The fastest, simplest, and least infuriating method, which serves as a good intro to casting, is the lost foam method. This is actually a Steve 3PO modified technique where I use a 3D print to make an impression in the foam. Practically anything that can be modeled on a 3D printer I can turn into metal using a variety of methods, and I will be doing videos on all of these methods. Since I live in the Great Pacific Northwest, I'm going to make my bottle opener keychains Seahawks keychains. So I'll start by printing up what could be called a stamp or a die. I didn't model this myself, so a big thanks to Thingiverse and Holmeser for having this free source file available. I always give a like and thank the people who make the free info available. Next, I trace the outside of the 3D printed stamp on a 1/4-inch piece of home insulation foam. I like to use this foam because I can get a lot more detail in my simple lost foam objects, but regular styrofoam is fine too. After I trace and add on a bottle opener lip, I have to slice the foam to get my Seahawks blank. I have a DIY styrofoam cutter, and Grant Thompson, the king of random, has a fantastic video on building a portable styro slicer. While I'm at it, I'm also going to cut an infill spout and also a way out that'll be my indicator that the cast is full. I start with a light press with my fingers to check the borders. The foam is pretty sensitive to pressure, and then I permanent press with my palms. The block of wood is to evenly distribute the pressure. The last part is clamping it down or using something heavy to hold pressure for 5 to 15 minutes. These came out pretty well. Yeah, as you can see, I can't leave anything well enough alone. I add whatever artistic flair I can to my projects. The ink tamps down the foam even further, so the castings can get a surprising amount of detail.
Now all we have to do is wait for some better weather to come along. Shouldn't be too long.
Sweet! We finally have some better weather. Let's get out there and bury these things in sand, and then get to casting before it rains again.
A 1/2-inch layer of casting sand is spread on the bottom and pounded down, as evenly as possible. Then I sift another layer about 1/4 of an inch and set the foam models inside of it, face up. I use a sifter because casting sand is clay and sand, and it tends to clump up like kitty litter. I use the sifter, again, to gently cover the models and periodically press each layer until only the infill and the risers are sticking out. The last 1.5 inches don't have to be sifted, and I pack it down firmly, but if I pound it down too hard, the foam could bend or break.
My neighbors are super cool, but that's probably because I give them some notice before I do anything that looks even remotely dangerous. I'd want them to do the same for me. Hey Gary. I'm going to be firing up the foundry here in a little while. Just letting you know, maybe 30-45 minutes, shouldn't be too long, but if there's a weird smell or something, that's what that is.
Okay, great.
So, as long as you're good with it?
Yep, I'm happy.
All right.
Thank you for notifying me. Thank you.
Of course, thank you.
This is what I do. I'm 25 feet from my home and anybody else's home. I have sand and water readily available. I have 300 degrees of travel around the entire foundry area without crossing over the gas hose. And I have all my supplies and equipment within reach before I start the gas. I've also walked the procedure several times to make sure that all my steps are in line. Got to get my PPE on, and I'm adding borax, which acts as a flux to separate impurities which come to the top of the crucible. These impurities are called dross and are skimmed off with a steel ladle, and we're left with clean brass. Here you can see my process for backyard casting. It's very simple. Pull, grab, pour, and then reverse. Just so you could get a better close-up of the pour, I combined footage from another casting that I did. The infills and risers are still attached, obviously. Anything that was foam is now brass. It's funny, I never feel like these are going to come out well, but every time I pull them, they turn out better than I expected, as you can see here. It's a simple matter of cutting off the unwanted parts, and then simply finishing with the angle grinder. After I've gotten the major snags and chunks and burrs off, I like to take each of them and tumble them for about 25 minutes in my tumbler with ceramic media. And to get some real detail, I also use gun blue. Gun blue is a sped up oxidation process that turns brass into darkness. I finish up with the polishing wheel on the angle grinder and drill a couple of holes. And there you have it. Brass Seahawks bottle opener keychains. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to do a lot more videos just like that, so please like and subscribe. And be safe out there, and please keep on tinkering.